HIS educational content. Insight training. Insight precedes technology. If you change after the world has changed, you will suffer. In an era of rapid change, the survival of an enterprise does not depend on technology. Excellent technology attracts people's attention and makes good products. But technology alone cannot make a company last for more than 100 years. In times of rapid change like now, it cannot last even 30 years. This is because as technology advances faster, the main technology that dominates the market is changing rapidly, and the time to acquire technology is getting shorter. For now, and for the future, insight is more important than technology. Think of how Samsung, with its great technology, failed to beat Apple, a company that had great insight. One win is possible with technology. However, insight is essential to become a winning company. Having the ability to see the changes of the world one step ahead of others is needed to take the road of victory before the market changes. Look at the movie 300, Rise of an Empire. Preoccupying and preparing an advantageous position for the war is the key to overcome the inferiority of troops and firepower. The film, which is based on the Third Persian War in 480 BC, is based on the true story of 300 Spartans led by King Leonidas, who stopped King Xerxes' 300,000 Persian armies in the Thermopylae. In order to avenge his father Darius I, King Xerxes of the Persian Empire, prepare the largest and strongest war power in 10 years. Because it takes 2 years to sail from Persia to Greece, they connected 700 warships to build a 1.6 kilometers bridge over the Hellespont that separates Europe and Asia. This was possible because Persia had the best civil engineering technology of its time. However, the Persian army was stranded in Thermopylae, where it was 180 meters wide, and both sides were covered with cliffs. This is because 300 soldiers led by King Leonidas of Sparta blocked Thermopylae, the only passage connecting the north and south of Greece. King Xerxes of Persia advanced 10,000 of its armed infantries into the valley, among the strongest troops that ever existed. The result was Sparta's victory. The army of Leonidas suffered little damage, while thousands were killed from the Persian army. It was the power of the terrain. Although Leonidas' troops were annihilated the next day, when a Greek citizen informed the Persian army on a side road that led to the valley, the Persian army, which had been delayed for a long time in the valley, was defeated by Greek naval forces, who had time to maintain their battle lines, and retreated after the Battle of Salamis. This is not simply a lesson learned from the Greek and Persian wars. The secrets of the victory of Sun Tzu, the great war strategist of the East, Zhuge Liang, who was revered as a mythical figure, and Admiral Yi Sun Sin, who is recognized as the most outstanding admiral in world history, were all the same. You need to be prepared in advance to take over the road to victory. To be ready in advance, you need insight that can see changes. Admiral Yi Sun Sin, who had prepared for the Japanese invasion of Korea in 1592, saved the country. But the people had to suffer because of our ancestors and lieutenants, who were too late to see the changes of the world. The same goes for companies. If you do not see the changes in the world, you suffer. Rather than leading the change, you waste your energy adapting to change. If you compete with companies that have adapted to change before you, you will be at a disadvantage from the start. Continuing intense competition under adverse conditions will shorten the lifespan of a company. You must move ahead to win. Remember how Samsung, Motorola, Nokia, and Sony failed to beat Apple even with their technologies. Because Apple moved first with the change in the phone market. Remember how Tesla, the first to take the move in the field of electric cars and self-driving cars, has surpassed the value of existing automakers. Also, without Chairman Lee Kuan-yee's insight, Samsung would not have been able to become the world's best semiconductor company. Insight comes before technology. The word insight in English means to see inside. The outside is a visible phenomenon, and the inside is ulterior. Looking behind the visible phenomenon is to understand what is not changing or is hardly changing, what is important, and the principle of change. This is called logic. Logic is the center of all things. It is the basis of all areas. When you get a sense of logic, you can know about the final conclusion of all changes or complex phenomena. We can predict what the end of the current change is, and the future of complex events. Because you already know the conclusions, you can make the right choices and decisions, without being fooled by complex and flashy phenomena. All resources can be used efficiently to make accurate decisions. Accurate decision-making, efficient allocation and use of resources speed up the enterprise. As the speed increases, you can lead the change without working hard to adapt to the change. You can make your own future by driving the change. If the future forces me to change, it is painful. But if I lead the future, change is an opportunity. Do not get me wrong. This is not to say that technology is not important to the victory of a company or an individual. This is to say that insight is more important, because it will let you see which of the many technologies to focus on, and how to win by focusing capital and management on the important technologies. That is why insight comes before technology.